in an isolation center look like? Ever since COVID 19 became an issue, we've talked about isolation centers so many times here on Hard Facts. They are a very important part of fighting the pandemic. Government is supposed to transfer infected persons to isolation centers so that it's harder for the virus to keep spreading in the population. But of course, it's not easy because our capacity is low. We've already heard government complaining about a lack of bed space at the isolation centers. And that's why today's big hard fact is that the Presidential Task Force on COVID 19 said last month that 80% of confirmed cases are being managed outside isolation centers. And the task force also said that this is because isolation centers are running out of bed space, so we need more. But today, I want us to talk about the few isolation centers that we already have. There's been some needless controversy about them, with some people insisting that they are a scam, that they don't exist, or that they are empty. So today, let's talk to somebody who was actually admitted to an isolation center as a patient. Apart from putting to rest these conspiracy theories, he's also going to be telling us about his experience or his experiences in the isolation center and about the whole process of getting tested, being diagnosed, getting admitted, being discharged. His name is Abdul Malik. Thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Oh, thank you, Sandra. And I understand a lot of people here or listening now don't still believe about the COVID-19 disease. But I want to say something to them.
Yeah.
I was ignorant like them. And I pray they change their mindset. Anyways, I got admitted into the isolation center like May 8th.
Yeah, but before we get to that, I want you to talk to me about yourself. So first things first, I want to congratulate you for beating COVID-19. While you were admitted into the isolation center at Luth, it must not have been easy. So congratulations on beating the virus to begin with, right? But before getting into the isolation center, tell me about you. Tell me about where you live. Tell me about what you do. Let's get to know about you a bit.
Okay, my name is Abdul Malik Abubakar. I'm an accountant and also a businessman. Yeah, I own a hotel. And I guess I contracted the disease from the hospital. Yeah, I was a bit sick for 2 weeks.
Okay.
And afterwards, I was not getting good. The more I get treated, the more the sickness increased. So I went to I stay in Festac.
Okay.
Yeah. So I went to 6 different hospitals. I was rejected in 2. Am I allowed to mention names?
No.
Okay. Yeah. So the last hospital I went to, as they said I was not getting better, they referred me to Lutz. When I got to Lutz, I was referred to a doctor in Lutz to conduct the test for me. I did the test, but I was very sick, so I wanted them to admit me in Lutz because I was not still sure that I had COVID-19. So it took me 5 hours for me to get into just their normal admission room because everybody coming to that side, they were having the idea that, these people, surely they have COVID-19 or so.
Okay.
So, when I got there, my mom and my siblings, they went there to help me. They met the doctor, so the doctor directed them to one place. So there you have to fill in some forms and all. Then afterwards, after 2 hours, the doctor came to the car, but not too close, because I was in the car sitting there.
Okay.
And she was asking me some questions. Then I gave her my details. Then after 2 hours again, She came back and she said she has secured a bed space
Okay.
that I should come in. So, but before then, they had done the test for me. I've done my test
Okay.
because she introduced me to someone. The guy was like even afraid of me because he saw that I was sick and all. So it took like at least 20 minutes for the test to be conducted.
Okay.
Then afterwards, while I was in the test, she was like trying to help me get a bed space where I could get admitted normally. Then after 3 days, my results came out. So they transferred me into the isolation center.
Now, I want you to walk us through it. How long? Tell me about the process of getting tested. Right? Did you go to them? Did they come to you? How long did it get to get tested? Walk us through the process.
You know, I went through someone.
Okay.
So the doctor knew a doctor in Leeds.
Okay.
So it was easy for me, like under like 2 hours.
Okay.
I got tested.
Okay.
Normally, if you get there, they come out late, and sometimes they'll tell you they're short of equipment, that they are coming. Yeah, because when I got into Luth Isolation Center, I was asking some other people how they got tested, and because they didn't know a lot of people or they didn't know anybody there, it took like, some even said they took like 2 days.
Wow.
They had to go there twice before they got tested. So mine was like I spent like 2 hours before I got tested.
I see.
Yeah.
When they first told you to get tested for COVID-19, what was your reaction? How did you feel?
I was a bit angry. I just thought the doctors didn't know what they were doing.
Okay. All right. Why?
Yeah,
Why? Why were you angry? Why did you think they didn't know what they were doing?
Yeah, because I felt when I got in, they said malaria, and they were treating me for malaria, and I wasn't getting better. Then I had to do cancer test. Yeah, because I was getting lean, and the doctor just said, let him go to Lagoon Hospital and conduct this test. Yeah. So I was just getting angry because I was not getting better, and they were giving me different things, and nothing was working. Yeah.
And when you finally got the test back, and it was COVID, what went through your mind?
I was just like, I wish I came here since, because I spent a lot of money in all these hospitals.
Oh, so it was even relief, maybe.
Yeah, a bit.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, did they talk to you about contact tracing? Did they ask you to give them a list of people that you'd been in contact with?
Yes, they did.
Okay.
And funny enough, they would just tell you to, like, you should go to the nearest testing center. Like, mine was in Festac, so they told me to tell my mom and my siblings to go to Amu Wardofin, that they're doing the testing stuff there. But the bad part about it is that their results came out like after like 4 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, they have to even call them in the local government just to know, like, they've not heard anything from them.
The result took that long. Do you know why the result took that long?
I don't know. I was there for close to 2 weeks, and their result was not out. Even when I came home, their result was not still out. So I just asked them, like, also, but though they're not showing any symptoms, so they're a bit relaxed. Then one day, my siblings had to go there, and they said they'll get back to them. So it was now later. They started sending messages like within 2 weeks afterwards, after they went to local government to ask questions. They started sending texts to them that, oh, you're negative, from NCDC.
I see.
Yeah.
So after testing positive, you had to get admitted to the isolation center. Tell us what the process was like.
Okay. Now, once you're positive, they will look for a means to take into the isolation center. There again, I spent hours to get into the isolation center because they had to make sure there were empty beds before I could get into the place. So it took me like 4 or 5 hours again Because they came to tell me in the morning that, okay, you're positive. Soon you will leave. They'll move you into the isolation center. And I got into the isolation center like 3, 4 in the evening within the same route. So when I got into the place, some boys just told me they discharged some people today.
Okay.
So that's how I could enter.
You know, you mentioned earlier on that while you were waiting, somebody died in the vehicle.
Yeah, an elderly woman.
Okay.
Yeah. The process is the COVID-19 patient is not supposed to leave the car to where they are doing the documentation.
Okay.
You understand? If you are sick, don't come there.
Okay.
Maybe your siblings can come and help you do the other processing. You just stay in the car. The doctor will come and meet you. So I guess they were doing the processing for the woman, and the girl who was with the woman in the car shouted that she was not moving again, and my car was close by. So I heard her screaming, and people just came. And as soon as I went down, I noticed that she was there because I could see her from my car.
Okay. So people were keeping their distance from the cars, and then somebody dies, and people came and surrounded the car?
The family members and some people around were just trying to know why she was shouting.
Okay.
So they had to go close to the car.
Okay.
Not the doctors.
Oh, not the doctors. Those ones were keeping a distance. Did they have masks? The doctors themselves, did they have masks on? Did they have gloves on? Did they have personal protective equipment?
Yeah.
Okay.
They had all those things. They stay away from you. They don't come close to you. Even those who are like helping you to process or sign those forms, don't get close to the doctors. They're like a bit far away from you. They tell you to like stop and talk to them from afar.
Wow. A lot of shouting must be happening. Okay, let's talk about the isolation center itself and what it was like. First of all, how empty or full was it when you got there?
Yeah, it was filled up. Yeah, but when I was leaving, it was a bit empty.
Okay.
Because they wanted to bring in people into the place. But when I entered, it was filled up. Yeah, they had like only 4 spaces as at the time I entered. Yeah.
What was the mood like? The people who were already there, what was the mood? What sense did you get of the people who were getting treatment in there?
Yeah, you see a lot of sick people. While some are just strong, they're just normal, taking care of all those, like the people who are sick. I don't know if you understand.
Okay.
Yeah, because there are some COVID-19 patients who are very strong. They're just strong, but they have COVID-19.
Okay.
There are doctors there. There are like dentists and all.
Okay.
So they'll come, they'll check up on you. And I could remember the very day I entered, they welcomed me like, hey, because I was walking slowly. I was a bit tired and weak.
Okay.
So they were trying to assist me.
Okay.
Yeah, to my bed. And they asked me like, do you have BP, diabetes, and all those things so they can monitor what I'm going to eat. Yeah.
How bad were the symptoms you saw there? Because more or less all of you who were there had symptoms, right? Because I remember you said that if you don't have symptoms, they don't admit you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So how bad were things?
Well, the worst cough I've seen in my life was the isolation center.
The worst cough?
Yeah, I've seen in my life.
Okay.
Or I've heard someone coughing.
Okay.
Yeah, because you could see somebody coughing for like 7-10 minutes straight.
Wow.
Yeah, that was how bad it was.
Wow.
And yeah, mine, I couldn't walk well. My bones were weak, my legs were weak. I couldn't breathe well. I was on oxygen before I got into the isolation center. Like when they admitted me, I'd already taken like 11 cylinders. Yeah. But then I was paying for it.
But this is free from the government.
Okay, when you get into the isolation center, everything becomes free.
I see.
Yeah, but where I was admitted, you pay for it. They arrange it like from 8.7 to 11.5, depending on how big the cylinders are. Yeah.
What about the medical personnel? We've seen doctors and nurses go on warning strike or threatening to go on strike because of the working conditions at the isolation centers themselves. That's why I was asking you about PPEs earlier on. We also have doctors and nurses complaining about allowances. They say that they're not getting paid. Were they working? Were they complaining about these things while you were there?
Yeah. Like, okay, for example, now, there was a doctor who was attending to me. Then there was a time I called him, because I called him directly, and he told me it's not time for him to come in. They have to call. I have to call the emergency number. Then one day I now asked him, like, even if I call you, you should come. And he said, I'm just doing this job, oh. In his own words, I'm just doing this job, oh. They're not paying me. Like, as we're here, we're risking our lives. Nobody's paying us. That's why you see a lot of doctors don't want to come in, even when there's an emergency. Sometimes you even say, don't wait for me. That guy is a doctor. Call him over to your bed. I won't lie to you.
As in a doctor admitted as well. Tell him to come.
Yeah.
I see. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Based on what you saw about the number of doctors in the isolation centers, are you worried about COVID-19 spreading in our hospitals? Because you also said you think you got it from a hospital.
Yeah, I got it. But those doctors in Lutz, they have all these precaution materials.
Okay.
Like they're always kitted before coming in.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe when they're taking it off or something, because it touch a lot of us.
No, I'm talking about other hospitals now, not Luth. Private hospitals.
Okay.
Because yeah.
Yeah, most private hospitals, like when I was sick, once they check your temperature and it's very high, they'll tell you not to come in. Yeah, and I feel, but most of them, they are just on nose mask. They don't protect their hands. Yeah, that's what I saw before I got into the isolation center.
I see. For how long were you at the isolation center?
I was there for 11 days.
11 days. What was the process for discharging you? You, of course, had to test negative before you could be discharged. How many times did they test you?
Yeah, twice.
Twice.
Before entering and the other time when I tested positive, then the second one I tested negative.
There are lots of people who are listening right now, including those who are not listening right now, and they don't believe that COVID-19 exists. Some people think that the isolation centers are all part of a scam. You wanted to start the conversation by saying something to these people. Some of them are saying open the churches. Some of them are saying let's go take WAEC, open the schools, open the economy. What do you say to them?
All right. First and foremost, COVID-19 is real. And if you're talking about opening the churches, you're not thinking of your life. Many of these people, they've not met someone who has this disease. That's why they're talking like this. If the government have the option of closing the market, I'm sure they would have done it. But it's because there won't be adequate supply of food and all to the lower bodies. That is why they are still trying to make the market open. If you want to go to church, you can go live or check. Your pastors can go live and you watch them. If they should close the markets, things will be expensive, more expensive compared to now. And what will you eat? Right now, a lot of taxes are not being paid. And the government understands that because of the COVID-19 issue. So when I hear people talking about going to church, schools and all, when a child or an elderly person gets infected with this disease, the person's survival percentage is like 5%. That's the truth. I nearly died. I won't lie to you. I was not working well. I was not breathing well. And God saved me. So I know a lot of people have this urge that they want to go back to school. They want to go to church. But they should be patient enough to understand that the government is trying its best to make sure this disease doesn't spread around. Hello?
If you move about Lagos right now, you're still going to see a lot of people who are not wearing masks, who are not observing social distancing. What do you say to these people?
That's my fear. As it is, they don't have a lot of bed space in Lutz and other isolation centers. So I'm even expecting more people getting infected with this disease. That is what I always think about. I always think that this thing you're seeing is deadly. Sorry, let me back a bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
When I was in an isolation center, I saw a man who couldn't sleep well. As in, he was just breathing all through, but he later died in the intensive care unit,
Okay.
not in the isolation center.
Okay.
So I was trying to talk to him because I gave him my oxygen.
Okay.
I was a bit better.
Okay.
So I gave him my oxygen. And let me just let people understand this also. It's just like 4 bed spaces that has oxygen in Lutz Isolation Center. So it's rotational. Once you get better, they will transfer it to somebody else. I was just getting better before they told me to give it to the man. Yeah, I was not healed. I just had to give it to him because I saw his own condition, that it was worse than mine. Yeah, so a lot of people have this disease, but they are not showing symptoms yet. Some might never show symptoms, might just self-isolate and get better. Some, when the symptoms start showing, they'll be very weak and they might likely lose their life. Because right now, with what I'm hearing from my friend who is working in Lutz, if you're not sick, like very sick, they're not going to admit you. If there are no beds, they're not going to admit you. They'll tell you to go home, or they'll just prescribe some drugs for you. Go and treat yourself. I can tell you there are not up to 70 beds in Lutz. The isolation center I stayed in, so it's not up to 70 beds. So you have to be seriously sick before they'll admit you. Yeah.
Wow. And this man with whom you shared your oxygen eventually passed on?
Yeah, he passed on. Let me even say something.
Yeah.
He was, should I say, they were trying to get an ambulance for him to take him to the intensive care unit. They told us the ambulance will be here like 7 p.m. He left Lutz Isolation Center by 12 in the night because there was no ambulance with ventilator.
Wow.
In Lutz, they were looking for ambulance that had ventilator. So I don't know whether the Lagos state governments are checking these things out. Because serious cases like that, they should have at least 3 or 4 ambulance with ventilator in them.
I'm just hoping that people hear these things and it motivates them to take better care of themselves, because we've always known that the system isn't great, but right now you have extra motivation to not even test this at all, because what if you're not as lucky as Malik?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Well, a lot of people that you see now, I see even some of my friends are telling me that this stuff is a scam, that.
Even though they know that you survived it.
Yeah. They're saying it's not COVID, that it's malaria and all. And I told them I've never been sick in my life up to this level. Yeah. I met a lot of big people there.
Okay.
I mentioned that I met Ladi Adebutu in the isolation center.
Okay.
He was the guy who contested with this guy in PDP in Ogun State.
Okay.
For governorship election.
Yeah.
Last year.
That's right.
Yeah. He was in the isolation center. So if they are paying people, they pay him. He's under PDP. So if they are saying they are playing politics with this, would they pay him to come and stay in the isolation center? Nobody would like to stay there. Your freedom is being denied. So you can't stay there. But because we are sick, we have to stay there. Because he was sick, he had to stay there. I don't want to mention a lot of people that, even some people in Sanwo-Olu's government, they are there.
Wow.
Yes.
But how are you feeling now? How are you feeling?
Yeah,
Are you
good.
completely recovered? Can you breathe okay now? Because there are some reports
Yeah.
that some people continue to be ill even after they've tested negative.
Yeah, depending on what you like, what you have. If you have more like diabetes and hypertension, once like okay, they discharged me and a friend the same day,
Okay.
but they couldn't let him leave because he was having breathing problem.
Huh.
Oh, he had diabetes, high sugar level, hypertension,
Wow.
but he is 41, so he was still strong to fight it. So they released him 3 weeks after they released me.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Malik, unfortunately, we're out of time, so I'm going to have to let you go. But Malik, thank you so
Okay.
much for talking to us, and congratulations
Thank you.
again on beating COVID-19, and
Thank
all
you.
the best.
Thank you very much.
All right. Lagos, you've heard
Bye.
from Malik. I want to hear from you, Lagos. Call in with your thoughts on the conversation that I've had with Malik on the show today. You finally have somebody who has told you everything you need to know about these isolation centers. If you are another former isolation center patient or you are a worker, calling with your story as well. I have to talk to people from a real estate agency at 5:45, so we don't have a lot of time to talk. That means that I'm going to give everybody 2 minutes to get their points across on the show today.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. Hard Facts will be right back.
Well, Hard Facts is right here. Let's talk to a few people and then move the conversation along. Hello. Thanks for calling.
Hello, good evening, Sandra.
Good evening. What's your name?
Yeah, this is Oluwasegun Badmus. I'm calling from Omole.
Good to have you on the show. I've got 2 minutes for you.
Thank you. Sandra, I listen to everything. In fact, I'm just sharing tears the way I'm hearing everything about that guy. In fact, Sandra, I wish I'm comfortable. I would just lock myself inside one room. I would just be there forever until this coronavirus live everywhere. I don't know, Sandra. Even going out like this, the way I listen to everything, going out alone, I'm scared. I'm scared, and I don't know what to do. Thank you so much, Sandra.
Thank you for calling me. We've got Joshua on the line. Hello, Joshua. Joshua? Hello? Oh, hello.
Yeah, my name is Gabriel.
Gabriel, thanks for calling.
Yeah, I listened to the man. I resumed work on Monday.
Okay.
I went on Sunday. I go to the Oniton branch.
Okay.
They block the road. I go through the bridge. I know on top of the bridge you can see everything about that. Everywhere look quiet for my own looking. On Monday, I sensed my friend went a policeman down there. Just few people inside that place. That's for that side. We talk of loot. I have a lot of experience in loot.
Okay.
You say what we have been suffering there for the past 10 years is just what the man explained. To me, it's not a new thing at all. If you have been have anything doing on that particular hospital.
Okay.
There's COVID-19. It's not everybody who is sick. To my own belief, it's not everybody who is sick who have COVID-19. I don't believe that. Not everybody who die have COVID-19. Before this sickness, not everybody go to hospital and come back alive. I don't think so. We should not put so much fear. I protect myself for the past 3 months plus. I always work on Monday. I spent about 3 months and 14 days at home. We should pray. We should protect ourselves. We should not put too much fear.
All right. Thanks for calling. 2 minutes, everybody. Hello, Peter.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, Peter calling. Yes, you see, I myself, I believe that this COVID-19 is real.
Okay.
Right from day one, even before it happened, before it started to exist in Nigeria. But the problem is that why people are doubting that our governments are the one that caused it. If you look outside the countries, other countries like the Western world, they showed the centers, they showed the patients, they showed the doctors, how they are treating them and how they are. But here in Nigeria, it wasn't like that. That's why people are doubting that they have not seen. They should show them.
But there was a documentary that the BBC did showing the doctors and the patients. Have you seen it?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
So now that they've seen that one, what is the new reason why they are doubting?
No, it's not everybody in Nigeria that has seen it. Majority of Nigerians watch home video instead of listening to news.
No, that particular video is spreading on WhatsApp, it's spreading on Facebook, it's spreading on Instagram. A lot of people have seen it. Why are people still doubting it?
Well, those that have seen it, they believe. But those that didn't see it, they are still in doubt.
All right. Well, thank you for calling.
Thank you.
I'm giving everybody 2 minutes. Monday, hello.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Yeah, this is Monday, Yaro.
Yes.
This COVID-19, it's obvious that we are experiencing it in the country right now. But this is not the first disease Nigeria has been recorded. We have Ebola, we have Lassa, we have AIDS and all that. But the way Nigeria is going about it is what really baffled me a lot.
Because there's a difference between Ebola, Lassa, and HIV. The difference is that COVID-19 infects many more people than all these other diseases that you have mentioned. If COVID-19 was like Ebola and like Lassa fever and like all those other ones, nobody will close your account because it doesn't infect like that. But COVID-19 is infecting like a mad person. It just they spread, they go. And that's because the only way it can happen is because people are going everywhere and doing everything like normal. And that's why they've introduced these measures so that people stop doing things like normal so that we can slow down the spread. That's why we're so extra with this one.
You see, okay, right now, you see, let me just put it this way. You see, not only Nigeria per se, the whole world, this is the right time for the whole world, for human beings to recognize who God is. Because when we begin to look at history, in the time of Moses in the Bible, the Egyptians were infected with some disease.
Unfortunately, we don't have the time to go into a Bible lesson because 2 minutes is what everybody gets. Hello, Taiwo.
Hello, good evening, President Sandra.
Good evening, sir. Welcome to the show.
How are you doing? You are doing a very good job. God bless you.
Bless you as well. Thank you.
Yeah, you see, I just want to say it bluntly. Do you know that, like you are saying, from Nigeria that are still not believing? Why didn't they make arrangements for them? Put them in a bus, right?
Okay.
If you know you don't believe that there is COVID-19, and then put them in a bus and take them to that center.
Okay.
Are you getting me? Look at the guy that just look at the victim that was infected and he survived just by a stroke of luck. And now he's explaining everything in detail. So do you know the man that come, the previous one that come before this one? Say they did not see the BBC report. Let him go and see the BBC. No, he doesn't need to see the BBC report. Let them go there and see. Some are not putting on masks. Go to some streets. Go to some roads. They are not putting on masks. They are not taking the need. They are not doing the needful. And after that, they have been saying that Nigerian government are not responsible. They say are not responsible. Hello, ma.
I'm hearing you, sir.
It's worrisome.
It is worrisome.
Nigeria cannot take responsibility. Let them go to that center. They don't need to open it for them. They should go in there and go and meet those people and go and interview them.
All right, sir.
God bless you, understand that. It's so worrisome. This thing is spreading. The increase is on some countries that are even closing. They have opened up. They have to relax the something again. They have to close it back again. And some Nigerians say, no, it's not coming. It's a scam. Let them go to that center and go and infect it. God bless you, Jerry. Thank you. I'm well done.
Thank you. Thank you, Taiwo. Yes, I feel Taiwo's frustration. I do. I honestly do. I'm as angry as Taiwo is. But we have to switch gear. So we have to get in touch with our clients from Adrian Homes. Adrian Homes is a real estate agency and they have some amazing deals that they would like to talk to you about, and they would like to talk to you about it right here on Hard Facts. You know why? Because 630,000 Lagosians are listening to Hard Facts. That's right. So they understand that it's important to advertise where all the ears go to go and advertise. And so in a few seconds, we're trying to get them on the phone. In a few seconds or minutes, hopefully, we'll have them on the phone and we'll be able to talk to them right here on 99.3 Nigeria Info. I am Sandra Ezekwesili. Thank you so much, Lagos, for being a part of today's show. I'm hoping that you heard the conversation I had with Malik. Thank you so much to Malik for sharing his story with us right here. We were supposed to talk to somebody else in Ogun State who went to get tested, but unfortunately, because we have to talk to the guys at Adrian Homes, we cannot have that conversation anymore. So let's try and get in touch with the team from Adrian Homes. Don't go away.
Leading the conversation.
We black people must understand.